Hi guys, today I will be taking you through Form 2 desktop publishing. We usually denote it as DTP. That is the theory reason for the full topic. In my reference, I'll be using Microsoft Publisher 2019 to demonstrate and give screenshots. Therefore, our course outline today, I look at Introduction to Desktop Publishing, the purpose of desktop publishing. We shall look at advantages and types of DTP. Also, we shall look at designing a publication and also getting started with publisher, setting up a publication, saving the layout, setting measurements, rules, etc. Then we shall also look at manipulating text and graphical objects. Also, we shall look at editing a publication, formatting a publication, text, paragraph, measuring object, text frame, formatting graphical objects, and lastly, we shall look at printing a graphical object. Therefore, what is desktop publishing or DTP? The first thing we should look at is the term publishing. Publishing is the process of producing publications such as newspapers, cards, pamphlets, pictures, calendars, books, etc. that has special text and graphical layouts and designs. Then we shall now go ahead and look at the definition of desktop publishing. Desktop publishing refers to the process of producing publications by designing their text and graphics layout using special desktop publishing software installed on PC or personal computers. Therefore, basically, desktop publishing is the act of producing publications, and these publications may include pamphlets, books, aureoge, calendars, etc. And also we can talk of posters. Then we shall also look at examples of desktop publishing. You can talk of Adobe PageMaker, Adobe Photoshop. You can also talk of Adobe Illustrator, CorelDRAW, Microsoft Publisher, of which I'll be using in my tutorial. You can also talk of Ventura Publisher and also Harvard Graphics. Therefore, in an exam situation, if you're asked to give examples of desktop publishers, then talk of Adobe PageMaker. You can also talk of CorelDRAW. You can talk of Ventura, Microsoft Publisher, etc. Then it is also important to note that some people may use a word processor for the purpose that should be handled effectively by a desktop publisher. And therefore, what is the difference between a desktop publisher and a word processor? A desktop publisher software gives the user more tools and control of page layout, text manipulation, and graphic design than a word processor. You note that Dtp software has more powerful tools in terms of text manipulation and graphical design. However, today's word processors have been incorporated with the text and graphic formatting and editing tools. For example, you can design a full publication in Microsoft Word by using available drawing and picture tools to create columns. If you are so much conversant with the word processor, you can still accomplish the same thing you could have done using a publisher. Then let's look at the purpose of DTP or the purpose of desktop publishing. Therefore, we shall look at three purposes. The first one is graphic design, the second one is page layout design, and then printing. Purpose of DTP. DTP programs give the typesetter, that is the person designing publications, a lot of controls on graphical design. This means that using a DTP software, a typesetter can create and edit very complex text and graphic objects of high quality. For example, the software provides the user with rulers and ruler guides that can be used to place an object in the correct position within the publication. On the other hand, we can talk of control on page layout design. With a desktop publisher, the user can design a page layout by setting constant picture and object locations. divide a page into a number of columns and also create layers. That is, we call it layering. Layering is the arrangement of objects on top of each other, with the one on top being the first layer. Therefore, layering is just the act of arranging objects on top of the other. And don't forget that the first layer, that is one on the top, is the first layer. Then we can also talk of purpose of DTP on that is control on printing. Printing, to produce any publication, they must be printed. Therefore, Dtp software helps the user to prepare artwork, that is, publications that are ready for printing. And therefore, in an exam situation, you'll be asked to give the purpose of that is the purpose of DTP, and therefore you can talk of control on graphical design, page layout design, and also printing, that is support printing. That is, it keeps the data ready for printing or artwork ready for printing. Then we can also look at types of desktop publishing software. That is, there are two main types of DTP software. We classify desktop publishing software into two broader groups. Group number one, we call it graphical based DTP. Group number two, we call it layout based DTP. And therefore, graphical based DTP, they are specifically developed for editing and formatting graphical objects like pictures. Examples of this, we have Adobe Photoshop, we have CorelDRAW and Harvard Graphic. Therefore, graphical-based desktop publishers have superior capabilities for handling images, such as setting resolution, brightness, contrast, cropping, and filling the image with color. Therefore, when you talk about graphical-based, they are actually specialized in dealing with objects like pictures, that is, editing and formatting of the same. On the other hand, we have layout-based DTP. They are specifically developed to create different page layout design for text and pictures. Therefore, if I can come up again, they are specifically developed to create different page layout designs for text and pictures. Examples, we have Adobe PageMaker, and also we have Microsoft Publisher. Those are good examples of layout-based. You can also add Ventura Publisher here. And therefore, note that DTP is classified into two major broad categories, graphical-based and layout-based, and we have given examples in each situation. We can also go ahead and see that is designing a publication. Different publications have different design layouts and formatting. Let's look at types of publications. There are several types of publications that can be produced using DTP software. They include, you can talk of cards, certificates, newspaper, magazine, pamphlets and newsletters, books, calendars, brochure, flyers, that is the advertisement notices, catalogs. And therefore, when you talk about cards, they may be for special occasions such as wedding, graduation, harabe, and congratulations. Then certificates, you can have certificates of compression, certificate of merit, certificate of appreciation, certificate of excellence. Then newspaper, they contain news targeting a group of people. You can talk of books. They are bulky publications with many pages that are bound together. You can also talk of calendars. They are used to show dates. Therefore, these are types of publications. Don't confuse types of publications and types of DTP. Then we can also see what are the features of a DTP software that makes it unique. Text can be entered directly into a DTP publication. Alternatively, the text can be entered in a word processor and then copied into the DTP program. Graphics can be created in a separate program, then incorporated into a DTP. A scanner can also be used to copy images such as photographs and drawings into the desktop publishing document. Therefore, point number 2, a DTP program gives you more control over the graphics in a publication. You can move, resize, rotate, and crop text. Thirdly, it has a wide range of font print sizes that can be merged with useful symbols such as arrows and stars, has columns of various widths in which the text is fitted automatically using sensible hyphenation. It also enables scaling and cropping of publications to fit in available space. It has a powerful tool called page numbering. You can page number just like in Microsoft Word or in a word processor. It enables production of multiple pages documents. Therefore, these are just a few of the features that a Dtp software can offer. On the other hand, somebody may ask, how do you use a Dtp system? Therefore, let's look at steps in using a Dtp system. And therefore, the first step, prepare your text and illustration with a word processor. Alternatively, use a scanner to input text and graphics from other sources. Secondly, using the Dtp program, develop the format of each page. Your screen becomes an electronic pasteboard with rulers, column guides, and other page design aids. Then you can also copy the text and illustrations into the page format you have designed in the Dtp. That is point number 3. That is, you copy the text and illustrations. Then format the pages on the screen to look the way you want them. When you talk about formatting, formatting is it is to appease the eyes, is to beautify your work in terms of you can work on good font sizes, good font color, etc. Then there are some terminologies associated with printing, especially in Dtp. You can talk of a runner, that is the main headline across the top page. You can talk of crosshead, a small heading used to break up text into easily readable sections. You can talk of bullet, that is for listing, cast off, a calculation as how much space text will use, footer, that is aligned on the bottom side. You can talk of masthead, details of the person involved in printing, jiggering, moving text around means that is in desktop you can refer it as jigging. Then we have these acronyms. What you see is what you get. This means that the presentation on the screen is exactly what you will get from a printer. Therefore, this means what you see is what you get, and that is very true. That is, the soft copy becomes the hard copy. Then let's see how you start Microsoft Publisher. Remember, at the start of the session, I told you that I'll be using Microsoft Office Publisher 2019, but that doesn't mean that whatever I take you through is not applicable to that. It is actually very much applicable. Therefore, this session here, this screen is actually showing you how to launch Publisher 2007 to 2019. Therefore, double click on the Publisher 2007 or 2019 icon on the main Windows screen, or click on Start in the lower left corner of the screen, then click on Programs, and then click on Microsoft Publisher. Therefore, you'll see your version there. It must be either 2007 to 2019. Therefore, this is the Publisher 2019 icon. You just double click on it after you type Publisher on search. Then the next point, you go to blank A4 portrait, or you choose more blank sizes. Then you can also choose templates here. Like for example, we have banners, brochure, you have business card, advertisement, and many more, like calendars there, down there, birthday cards, wedding cards. Therefore, if you want to create a certificate, then you can click on this point here, written award certificates, that is templates. Then you choose a template for, you can choose a template for that matter, for what the certificate you want. Then this is the Microsoft Publisher screen. We have the ruler. We usually have the vertical and horizontal ruler. Then on your uppermost part, you have the ribbons. You have File, Home, Insert, Page Design, Mailings, Review, View, and Help. Those are called ribbons. And if you are very keen, for now I have clicked Home ribbon. And in the Home ribbon, we have sections. These sections are called groups. Therefore, you have the clipboard group, font group, paragraph group, styles group, objects group, arrange group, and editing group. And if I click on insert or page set design, I'll also see more and more groups. Therefore, you can see the outside of the printable area, we have the pasteboard. That is a section used to keep your data before it is actually pasted on the printable area. Whatever you type in inside the printable area is the one that is the printer prints. Then you have the ruler for measurements. Therefore, let's see how you create a new publication in the Publisher. Instructions. Startup screen appears when you first open Publisher, which lets you create a new publication in Publisher. To create a new publication in Publisher, from the startup screen, click the type of publication to create in the listing available templates at the right side of the startup screen. Alternatively, to create a new publication, after creating a publication, then click on File tab on the ribbon, then you click on New, then you follow the steps that I have explained earlier there. Remember to set the paper size. Then let's see how you create and edit master page. First of all, you need to know what is a master page. A master page is a special page that is used to insert graphics and text that will be applicable in all other pages, or it will repeat in other all pages. For instance, if I want to insert the header, can just insert the header in my master page. And to see the master page, you usually go to View, then Master Page, or you can press Ctrl M for mercy on your keyboard. Therefore, use master pages to repeat design and layout elements on the multiple pages in a publication. Using master pages for these common elements give you your publication a more consistent appearance and allows you to create and update these elements in one place rather than changing them on each publication page. Then you can also create and edit master page just by going to View, then Page, that is Master Page. This is a good example of master page. You see, once you click the master page, this is a double facing master page or two-page master page. Up there you can see we have an on-demand menu or on-demand ribbon called master page. It has only appeared because I am working on master page. Once I'm done doing my stuff here, you just click on Close Master Page. You can also add a duplicate page. In the page navigation area at the bottom of the screen, right-click the page that you want to copy. On the shortcut menu, click Insert Duplicate Page. A duplicate page will be inserted into your publication immediately after the selected page. Therefore, sometimes you may require to have a duplicate page because of one reason or the other. Therefore, that's how you can do it. But in case you want to just add a blank page, in your open publication, turn the page that you will come before or after the pages you want to add. On the Insert tab, click the arrow below the page button, select an option, Insert Blank Page, to insert a new blank page after the currently selected page. You can also right-click on the page thumbnail, then select New. Then we can also talk of page numbering, like in a Word document. Numbering pages of a publication like books, magazines make it easier to read and make references. To insert page number, you go to Insert tab in the header and footer group, click Page Number command, select one of the options, e.g. bottom center on the drop-down list. Then changing the page number style, go to Page Number command, click Format Page Number. In the Page Number Format dialog box, in the number format that is the drop-down list, select the number format, then click on OK. You can also rearrange pages by drag and drop. If page 9, you want page 9 to be page 2, you can just click and hold, then drag it to point where page number 2 should be. Therefore, in Publisher, you can change the order of your pages by rearranging page thumbnails in the page pane. Changing the order of pages does not affect the text object in publication, even though they may have moved to different pages. That is very important point to note. Therefore, steps for doing this, you just click, hold, and then drag and drop. Then inserting header and footer. In the page design ribbon, in the page background group, click Master Page command, select Edit Master Pages. From the drop-down list on the Master Page ribbon, in the header and footer group, click the Show Header and Footer button. Type your header and footer respectively. But you can also type one. If you don't need to type both, then you just type the one that you want. You can also look at layout guides in Publisher and also rulers. I had actually shown you those ones in the screen. Let's look at page formatting. This is enhancement of a publication layout by partitioning a page into columns, page numbering, adding headers and footers, etc. Let's look at column guides. They help you divide the page into columns that make the publication look more organized. The idea is to partition a page into short readable sentence blocks. Columns are mostly used in designing large publications like newspaper and journals. Then we have how to accomplish this, that is to include column guides. You go to page design tab. In the layout group, you click on guide commands. Select the relevant column guides from the drop-down list. You can also wish to insert evenly distributed columns. You just go to click text frame to activate. Click on column button on the format ribbon to display columns drop-down list. Select the option with number of preferred columns. You can also do this by drawing text boxes and then typing inside them. Then we have layout guides in Publisher using grid guides. To view the grid and baseline guides, click the Page Design tab in the ribbon, then click on Guides button in the Layout button group, then select the Grid and Base Guides. Therefore, you can practice on this so that you can actually understand what we are talking about, layout guides. Then, how do you insert text in Microsoft Publisher, or how do you insert text in a publication? Here is how to add text to a page. Click the text box on the Objects toolbar. By default, when you open Publisher, the Objects toolbar extends vertically along the left side of the Publisher window. Drag to create a rectangle on the page. In the text box you create, type the text you want, just like I have demonstrated. Therefore, you usually draw a big rectangle after clicking on text box icon, then you draw. Now you are ready to type. You just start typing. Then, how do you format text? If you look at this demonstration here, I have typed my name, then there is this quick format toolbar that allows you to apply font size, font, background color, and bullets and numbering alignment, a lot of other stuff. Therefore, you can use this one for formatting. You can see it has everything. It has the font, it has the paragraph stuff, styles, everything that you need. Therefore, you just need to highlight text and then right click. You see this format quick format bar. Then you can apply color, size. You can talk of alignment, indentation. You can change capital letters to small letters by clicking on the capital A's there. Therefore, this is the box that helps you to do a lot of formatting. Also, look at the point I have clicked. This one, home. When you are at home, having these groups here, you see you have bold. You can put your text to be bold, italics, underlines, superscript, subscript. This is change case. That is changes capital to small letters and vice versa. You can change the font style, Caribbean, News Times, Roman, and others. Then you can also do that is canning and tracking here. Therefore, all those are actually formatting. Then, how do you insert a drop cap? A drop cap is a large capital letter used as a decorative element at the beginning of a paragraph or section. This size, the size of a drop cap is usually 2 or more lines. The following illustration shows your option for positioning a drop cap, and therefore you have two types of drop cap. You have dropped and in margin, as demonstrated here. Then on the other hand, you can see how you can do the drop cap. You can just go to, you highlight the letter, you go to format up there, then you can go to drop cap and then choose the drop cap that you wish to apply. You can also do with the change case. Change case allows you to switch from capital letters to small letters, just like in Microsoft Word. And therefore, to do so, select the text for which you want to change the case, go to Home, then Change Case. Do one of the following: to capitalize the first letter of a sentence and leave all other letters as lowercase, click on Sentence Case. To exclude capital letters from your text, click on lowercase. Therefore, I have shown you where that one is. Therefore, this is the change case icon, this one, AA. You click this arrow here, then you can see your options. Then let's see formatting text to superscript and subscript. I have demonstrated here. Superscript is when a character is raised. Subscript is when a character is lowered. And therefore, for this case, you just go to where I am showing you, that is in Home ribbon. There is the X2, that is the subscript, and we have like X squared, which is the superscript. Therefore, to apply, just highlight, then you click one of these buttons. Then let's look at tracking and canning. Tracking and canning are two publisher options for controlling the space between characters. Canning is helpful for fine-tuning the space between individual characters, especially at large font sizes used in display text. Tracking is reduces or increases the spaces, while canning changes the space between two specific text characters. Therefore, you can talk of very tight, normal, loose, or very loose. You can also click on more spacing to see other options that you can be given in tracking and canning. Therefore, this is the tracking and canning icon. It is in Home. When you are in Home, then you get it here and choose the required stuff. Then you can also apply indent and alignment. When you talk about indentation, it is to push a paragraph few millimeters from the margin or a few inches, where alignment is arranging text in between margins. And therefore, for alignment, we have these types of alignment here. We have left align, we have center, we have right align, and justified. Then we have indentation in reduced and increased, and reduced indentation. And also you can tackle the columns here. Therefore, when you are in a Home button, it helps you to do all the formatting you need. Then let's look at editing. We have said formatting is beautifying or appeasing the eyes. Editing, on the other hand, is making changes. And for you to make changes, you can use features like find and replace. You can search for specific occurrences of word or group of words in your publication. To find and change a word or phrase in the publication, on Home ribbon in the editing group, click the replace command. The find and replace pane appears. In the search for box, type the word or phrase to search. In the replace with box, type the new word that you will replace. Click on replace or replace all. When you click replace, it only replaces one occasion or one occurrence, whereas replace all replaces all occurrences. Then we have checking for spelling and grammar mistakes. You click on the review tab, then in the proofing group, click the spelling command, then run it by either hitting change, add to dictionary, or ignore all. Therefore, inserting objects, this is very, very much interesting. Inserting objects, graphics, pictures, and AutoShape. I have actually used Publisher Screen to show you how this one is accomplished. To insert a picture, you just click where you want to insert a picture, then you go to Insert, ribbon here, then you click on picture, then it will bring the browse dialog box. You just browse and then click insert. You can also insert pictures from online. Remember, when you are insert, this is the illustrations tab. Then you can have calendars, borders, advertisements, but I'm interested with auto shapes. Auto shapes, you just go to shapes, then you can see auto shapes. For you to insert word art, still in insert here, you just go and click on add art. You can also insert a file, date and time. You can insert header and footer also from this point without actually going to a master page. Then let's see importing graphical objects. You click on picture, insert picture, select the file that you want to insert. Then you can also wish to have various auto shapes combined together to be formatted together or to be moved together. That act is called grouping. And once you group and do whatever you wanted, then you can ungroup. To group, you just go using a pointer tool, hold down the shift key as you click the objects to be grouped. Click group button located in the arrange group of format ribbon. To ungroup, select the group, click the ungroup button text to group button. That is next to group button. Then rotating objects, you click the objects, click on the rotate button in the arrange group, select rotation option. To crop an object, after inserting a picture or a clip art into your publication, you may want to hide parts of the graphic that you do not want to be printed. This process is referred as cropping. Click on the image, then click on crop tool. Then some people usually talk of fill and stroke. When you talk about a stroke, we are talking of the line style, that is the outer. Like for instance, if you look at this outer rectangle here, the outer line is black, that is the stroke. But inside we have light blue, that is the fill. And therefore stroke refers to line style applied around an object or text, while fill is the style applied in the text or object. Therefore, to do this, to apply, right click on the outer shape, then select format outer shape. You'll be in a position to see I have right clicked here, then go to format outer shape. You can see all you can do. Like for example, I want to do the filling, therefore I can just hit the fill effects, then I will be taken to this point, picture, pattern, gradient, solid, search. Therefore, to change the color of fills, lines, and borders, you are talking of publisher. Okay, right click the object you want to change and then click format object type, e.g. format picture, format whichever. Then you change the color and lines that are from the change a fill. Then you can also change the color. You have color scheme, standard colors, no fill, more colors. Therefore, that one is how you go about it. Then you can also apply wrap text. Wrap text or wrapping text allows some writing to go around the picture. Therefore, to do that, you click the picture to select. On the Format tab in the Arrange group, click Wrap Text. Do one of the following. Click square to wrap text around the border of your image. Click tight to wrap text closely around an irregular shaped picture. Click top and bottom to place the image on its own line. Therefore, that's how you deal with text wrapping. We usually have square, we usually have in front of text, behind text, tight, inline, etc. There are many. Then just to see how you insert a table. Just like you insert a table in Microsoft Word, is exactly the same idea you utilize here. To create a table and add text, click where you want the table to appear. On the ribbon toolbar, click Insert and then select Table. Create your table by dragging across the row and or column squares to create the rows and columns. To increase the size of the table, select the table position. Position the mouse pointer over the selection handle until you see the resizer icon, and then drag the resizer. That's the drag to resize the table. In the table, click the cell where you want to add text and then start typing. To add text to another cell, click inside that cell. Each cell expands to fit your text unless you lock the table size by clearing the check mark next to grow to fit text on the table menu. To create a table from existing publisher text, if the text is in a table, select the cells you want. If the text is in a text box, make sure there is a tab or comma between each entry into a row and a paragraph mark at the end of each row. Highlight the text, right-click the highlighted text and then click copy. Then you usually go to home, that is the home button, and then paste special. Then setting up a page. On the page design tab, click the page setup dialog launcher. Therefore, you have insert and then page design, just like I've shown you. Therefore, from there, enter the width and height of the page. Therefore, you can just choose the size there or actually type. Therefore, this is how you go about the paging, that is setting up a page. To create a reusable custom page size, use the create new page size dialog found in the size button on the page design ribbon. So that one can allow you to come up with your new custom setup. Then setting margin guides. Margin guides set the amount of space between the edges of the page in your publication and the words and images on the page. On the page design tab, click the page setup dialog launcher. Then therefore you can see where to go. Note there is a limit to the area of a sheet of paper that can be printed on by your printer. Many printers do not print to the edge of the paper, regardless of how wide you set your margins. When you set your margins and create your page, you must make sure that the content that you want to print remains within the printable area for your specific printer. Secondly, enter the amount of space that you want at the top, left, right, and bottom of the publication. Therefore, that's how you actually deal with the margins. Then we can look at types of layout. You can have one page per sheet. You can have booklet. You can have email, envelope, or folded cards. Therefore, when you go to print, you can see multiple pages, one page per sheet, and on those other options. You can also see quarter sheet, side fold, quarter sheet, top fold, multiple pages per sheet. Those are some of the common features. Then, once you are done with your publication, you may wish to print it, and therefore printing a publication. On the File menu, click on Print. In the Print dialog box, click the Publication and Paper Settings tab. Under Print Range, click Pages in the text box. Type the page number of the first page that you want to print. Type a comma, and then type the next page that you want to print. Therefore, that is the end of my presentation on Microsoft Publisher. Remember to subscribe if you haven't. Also share and like my videos so that you can be in a position to actually get more and more videos as I do them. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next